right, hello, bro.
Hello, bro.
Nice to see you.
Same here, man.
Hope you're doing good.
Yeah.
all right. Okay, quickly, let's do a quick one. We've seen the exploits of Arsenal this season, and they have found themselves topping the Premier League. That's amazing. But you and I know what happened last season. They were topping the league, and when it got to the time when it was the win was needed the most, they were nowhere to be found. They slipped up to Manchester City, and again, next season, being this season, they have found themselves at this position. So, what do you really feel they need to do to avoid an occurrence of what happened last season?
Arsenal needs to play better. I know some persons out there will be like, come on, this guy is here. But then, if you go by the records, you find out that Arsenal, they are lagging behind in terms of some numbers. And for you to be a champion, those numbers must be intact. Yes, one will also say, okay, Arsenal have played 14 so far and they are leading. Good and fine. Many things are working for them, but I tell you, some things are not working for Arsenal as it stands. Why do I say that? Because by stats, Arsenal haven't scored more goals than many other clubs out there.
Wow.
But yes, they have conceded less, and that has been the major player for them, and that has taken them to the top of the league. What do they need to do? Score more goals. Why? Because a team like Aston Villa has scored more than Arsenal.
Wonderful.
A team like Brighton
Wonderful.
has scored more than Arsenal.
Wow.
Arsenal are not firing. Their pointer, Gabriel Jesus, Nketiah, one might say, okay, they are scoring. But guy, they are not making the numbers. Last season was about Saka. This season, it has continued. Okay? But then, in football nowadays, concentrations are not really there for the top 9. It's mostly on the ones playing from the wings. But then, for how long will you keep depending on Saka to give you goals and assists? Right now, he's doing more assists, more goals than anybody in the club. And you cannot be solely depending on him. What if he goes down? If he goes down, that means Arsenal will crumble. But then you ask, from their game plan, does it really favor them? I think yes. But in terms of goals and in terms of passing, Arsenal is even doing sixth. Brighton passes more than Arsenal.
Wow.
Brighton is doing second. Manchester City, they are doing number 1 in passing.
And these are confirmed stats.
Confirmed stats.
Wow.
Arsenal is doing sixth on their passings. What about crossings? Brighton is doing more crosses than Arsenal. Okay?
Wow.
That is to tell you that a lot needs to be done. If you go by their stats, yes, Arsenal starts their game with 4-3-3. Then sometimes they just, or most times, not sometimes, most times their 4-3-3 looks like 3-1-6. What happens? Their left flanker, which is most at times now, it is Zinchenko, okay, dives into the midfield. Not just the center midfield. Mind you, Declan Rice, big ups to Declan Rice. And see, after Saka, you give it to Declan Rice. Big ups to Declan Rice. You should, as it stands right now, personally, he is fighting with Doku, who becomes the best signing of the season. But yes, it is a marathon. It's just 14 games so far. But then back to Arsenal stats, you find out that Zinchenko comes in, not that he comes in to join one. Remember I said 3-1-6. Not that he comes in to join one, which is Declan Rice. He comes in to join the attack. That is the 6 persons out there moving. And that is why you've seen now they are now introducing Kai Havertz. I don't know whether I have that time to explain more of it, but then let me try and bring it down a bit.
Okay.
Now, you have Zinchenko coming in okay, to help the attack. And if you check the Arsenal sides from the right and the left, you find out that Martinelli is not really doing well. Yes, he's moving the ball, he's playing, but by the stats, he has not scored more goals, he has not done more so many assists this season. Saka has done more assists than him by a wide margin. But then you also consider the injuries that he has had. Why is Arsenal right working so well for them? Because you have Ben White, whom they cannot wait to extend his contract, because he's doing so well. Maybe it's not so glaring for everybody out there, but then what Ben White does is what is helping Saka. Okay? Because he overlaps. Mind you, Zinchenko comes to the center of the midfield or center of the attack. He drives it from the left, but Ben White goes straight. And what Ben White does is he goes straight. You have Odegaard there, you have Saka. So, oh my God. Okay, so sorry guys. So when they make these moves, it gives Saka more space to play around, knowing that there's somebody behind him, knowing that he has a confidence around him that can also give him back the ball. If he misses it, if he loses the ball, there's somebody to collect back the ball and gives him that pass, and up he goes. And then you have Odegaard sharing those balls to him. You cannot take away that from him. Then, lastly, if I can come in for Havertz, why it is now looking like it is working for Arteta and Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz has been struggling, okay, but then it is now glaring that the tactics or what they have been doing behind the scene has been working. If you find that Kai Havertz is the missing puzzle, in fact, he is the spare man of the team. In fact, he was bought to play the space or the role of a spare man and not to play from the left, not to replace Martinelli. No, he was bought actually to play inside the midfield. Okay, mind you, over the years, he has been, yes, Chelsea brought him so for that, but he has been a supporting person, and it has also shown right now that those signs are coming out. Look at what happened in the last two games in the Champions League, when not in the Champions League, against Brentford or so. Yeah, against Brentford, that long goal that they got here. You saw how he was at the far left when nobody appreciates that. An Arsenal player can be on the far side of the corner to get that ball that was looped by Tomiyasu to him. That is the kind of game that they brought him to play. Being that spare man, that even when Martinelli loses the ball, or when you need a magician at the center to do what Jesus is supposed to do. Okay, mind you, Jesus will be dragging his own numbers, but then as he'll be dragging the defenders to one side, then you see somebody like that, we just go in, okay, and create that space for himself. That is the missing guy, that is the spare puzzle that Arsenal has been keeping. And it will be a very interesting season. 14 games, and we are going to see a lot. Okay. Then for scoring goals, like I mentioned to you, they've not scored more. But then, what plays so well for Arsenal is their discipline. Their discipline is what has kept them where they are today. Arsenal, they are the team that has conceded less yellow cards. Arsenal has conceded 20 yellow cards against Chelsea, that is number one on that log. Chelsea is number one in yellow cards, and Chelsea has collected 47 yellow cards this season. 47.
Wow.
And Arsenal has also been doing well in terms of fouls committed. They are running 19th in terms of the numbers, meaning that they are second least in giving out fouls. So they've been very, very, very good. And look at the goals they've conceded, just 17. And also, people have been giving them those fouls. People have been smashing them, hitting them hard, and that's why we are also saying, will they be able to have those legs, okay, to carry through? Yes, they are not committing fouls per se, but then people have been hitting the
Like they are more or less like the recipients of this foul.
of these fouls exactly. Okay, and it is also showing by penalties. Arsenal has been awarded the highest number of penalties
This season.
than any other
What
club.
a start.
Yes. So these are the things that are working for them. But then in all, if you ask me, do they have it all to get this league? My answer as it stands is no.
And that's an honest answer.
Honest answer. Arsenal as it stands will not win the league. Unfortunately for the fans. If they don't make these things, if they don't correct these things, and won't be like, oh come on, January is coming. Will they be able to get that player that we? Arsenal needs to bang more goals. You cannot win the league without scoring goals.
So more or less now, sorry to interrupt you. More or less now, you are saying it's not just about signing more players, but doing something about the lack of adequate, sufficient goals.
You have to pass. Possession, when we know Arsenal should be first three in holding. No, not should. They are first three in holding possession. Number one is Manchester City, and guess number two. Listen, Brighton. Brighton is doing so good. Arsenal, by possession, they are doing 60% possession, averaging 60%. Manchester City is averaging 62%. Brighton is averaging 61% of possessions.
Wow.
Okay, so these are the stats, bro.
Okay, so let's do a little switch. Now let's talk about Manchester United. We see they have been a team that has been full of ups and downs. You know, like recently I was interviewing a fan who said, if Manchester United want to lose, if they are not on form, let's know that they are not on form. If they are on form, let's know that they are on form. What's this sitting on the fence? So what can you just give us a little tidbit into that, their form and their character this season? What have you noticed?
Yeah, they've been on and off. Manchester United is like you have a car, you buy 70 liters of fuel in the car, okay, and all of a sudden you just open your tank and rainfall entered inside the tank. That is what is happening to Manchester. When they fire, and when the water gets into the injector, they just crumble. And that is what is that. Manchester United, you can't take it away from them. They have one of the best signings, individual players out there. They have young lads coming up. That is value, real value in monetary terms, in general terms for the club. Okay? They have a good coach. See, it's unfortunate too that people are looking down on Ten Hag. Okay? Ten Hag, while in Ajax, you have to call those records back. Okay? While in Ajax, he was doing so well. They were playing football. They were dropping the ball to the ground. They were playing like the Manchester United of I will not say Alex Ferguson. They were crossing the balls. They were playing it down. They were fast. Well, unfortunately for him, he needs time. Well, we also say, how much time do you need? After all, a coach came to Brighton and just picked them up there and they've been smashing goals. A coach came to Aston Villa and picked them up and they've been smashing goals. What is happening to our club? I guess the fears, I guess the crying out of their players out there. But then they need that time. They also need two persons that they've been attacking. In fact, three. In fact, 2.5. The half is Maguire, and Maguire is looking at like one of their best defenders right now. Yeah. The other guy is their coach, who I've talked about. Okay, then you have the Cameroonian Onana, who has conceded 17 goals, but the club has scored only 16 goals. Arsenal has conceded 11 goals. Arsenal that is doing well, good discipline, just 11 goals in the Premier League. Other clubs have conceded, Chelsea have conceded 22 goals. Most clubs have conceded over 20 goals. Okay, that's to also tell you that Manchester United are not that bad, but then they've not been scoring goals. And that is why those pressures are on Rashford. But then, a team, you cannot just build your team only on one person. They still have those skills, they still have those players out there that should come out and do the needful and help the coach out of his predicament at the moment.
All right. Also, recently, still on the Manchester United, we had some of the players complaining about the training sessions that Ten Hag makes them to undergo, the rigorous training, and then to the extent they get tired to play matches. So, do you really think this can really be a factor? Because I'm wondering how can a coach make the players overtrain? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's just like when your baby is crying, Daddy, this is happening to me, this is happening, and you ignore it. Okay, at the end of the day, it might just not be. It might just be that you, as a parent, you really failed, and that's what I think Ten Hag should look at. Yes, it might be the routine, what he's really known for, and it really worked for him in Ajax. It might not be the same for Manchester United. And more so, these things also it does not happen overnight. For you to make them to be working on that kind of routine, it should be something you'll be introducing quietly, silently, easily, and not just hit them hard like that. And man, these legs will get tired. I see some clubs out there, not really in the English league, but then like our league in local Nigeria, they want to start a match. You are warming up for a match. People will just be over preparing, over training. In fact, hey, then where will the energy come for you to go and play the football? The main football on a sunny day. You guys arrive. In fact, you use bus. Sorry, this is not Nigerian league. You use bus on our bad road. You pass Taba, you pass the bad roads, and you got to your destination. That same day, you call them, oh yeah, no, wanna come out for evening, no more go train. The following day, before the match, people will train, hot fun, hitting you. Then you want them, to perform miracles for you. So these are the issues here, and I think he should listen to his boss.
So finally, before I let you go, now you have said something on this issue and what you feel Ten Hag needs to do. Would you really say that somehow these training sections have affected these players? Because when some players are not beginning to like the strategies or tactics of some coaches, there seems to be this distance. Though he's your coach, but you don't have this chemistry. But you see some coaches who have, their players so much love them that when you see them play for their manager, play for the badge. When you see what Manchester City are doing, even Brighton, But when it comes over to United, you see these players. So do you think that kind of thing actually affected the relationship?
Bro, there is something with success. When there is success, even a nagging wife will be a sweetheart. When there is success, okay, so that is what is just happening. The results are not working for the team, and that's why you just see all manner of disobedience and all that happening around. Okay, it does not work well for the team, and that is why we are seeing all these challenges here and there in Manchester United.
All right, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a lovely night.
Thank you.
Wow.